All right, guys, this is the last podcast of the year because we're starting 2019 with a bang. And by a bang, I mean Oscar nominations. But now we got a short list to go through. Welcome to Gone with the Wind. Cue the music. Price is Right theme, guys. I don't know why. Welcome everybody to Gone with the Wind, the show about award shows where we talk all about, award shows where they concerning movies and that. Wow, that was really bad. It started off really good, it derailed really fast. Today I'm your host Manning, as always, and with me here we have Abe.
Hello. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know. People watch it. You say good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good morning.
Good night. Yeah, and Ryan says good evening, I guess.
Good evening. All right, and what do you say over there, Malcolm? If not good morning.
It's afternoon here, so I'll just say good afternoon. But it's Jim Carrey would go. Good morning, good afternoon. In case I don't see it, good night. Or something with those orders.
I get you.
But it's good to be on the far superior award shows and not that Gone with the Winds that appeared on late night last week.
Oh, there you go. And Ryan.
Hey, good night.
There, now we have an exactly idea of how everyone's night is currently going. Abe, somehow you were in the morning. I don't know how you got there. But
I woke up 3 hours ago.
Wait, are you serious?
I don't know, maybe.
I'll never know. From a nap or just like in general, did you wake up?
No, like 6 hours ago. I woke up like at 12.
12? Wow. Okay. Yeah, I remember you told me I gotta get up eventually. I don't like to get up. You definitely were telling the truth. Okay, but now, we are so slowly inching ever so closer to our the Oscar nominations next month, guys. We are currently in January, reaching the end stretch, and so far the race is starting to shape up very nicely. We recently just got the short list, but before we get into the short list in particular, what have you guys watched this week? And there are two in particular that I want to talk about. Sorry, that'll probably exclude Malcolm, but everyone else can talk about it. Malcolm, what did you watch, since you will not be talking about the main topic?
I watched 8th grade for the first time the other day. I actually enjoyed this. This was like one of those movies in which just sort of I didn't expect to enjoy, but I watched it because I sort of heard everyone raving about Elsie Fisher. So, yeah.
And we can confirm it is Elsie Fisher, right? That is how to pronounce it?
It is Elsie Fisher.
Okay. I'm now second guessing myself whenever I hear it. No, awesome, cool. Anything else you saw?
No.
All right. Cool. That's still more and more movie than I have seen. I've still not seen 8th grade. Need to get on that.
Watch it.
I know. I need to see it. It's just I missed it and I've never gotten back to it. Before he kills me, Ryan, what did you watch?
Well, since the last time I was on this podcast, I watched Leave No Trace.
Oh,
because that was did quite well with the LA Film Critics. It was good. Certainly, if you haven't seen it, it's worth watch. I wasn't totally knocked off, but it's in my top 20. And then I saw the two movies that we're going to talk about today, which were Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Roma, which I watched last night and stayed up too late. And I'm really tired now, but I have way too much to do.
Okay. Then we will respect your time and move right along. Hey, what'd you watch?
I did watch 4 movies. I watched Aquaman because it opened early where I am, and I have to say I really enjoy it. I thought the action sequence were the highlight for me, and Momoa and the drum playing octopus. I tweeted it. That was really good. Favorite DC movie. In case I watched what else? I watched Roma. Yeah, I watched Roma, which I will talk about it later. I watched Spider-Verse and The Mule, which is a little racist.
Before we went on live, Abe said that, and we just died because he just said it so casually. He was like, "Oh, it's a little racist." Wait, I'm curious, how so? Just,
I mean,
well, please explain.
It's not the way that it depicts certain
Groups.
races, like groups, but it's the way the main character refers to them.
Ah, so the main character is racist.
Yeah, it's
Clint-
just a little bit. I laugh. I have to be honest. Some of those insults were very good. I mean, the whole theater was laughing, and it was full of white men and women.
Okay.
So.
Oh my lord. So you're saying Clint Eastwood was a little racist?
A little bit, like you call Mexican beaners, and there was a fucking insult he said that I was, but yeah, it was great.
But how was the movie?
Oh no, the movie was fine. I was entertaining throughout. Like if you break it down, like is this like, does the script make sense? Is the character likable? It's like wouldn't work that much, but like if you see it, you will be entertained.
Okay, so it's not terrible.
Oh no, it's a fine Clint Eastwood movie.
So it's fine. It's not lesser.
Has 2018 been the year where it's fun to laugh at casual racism?
I mean, it's like a coping mechanism. People laugh at really awkward moments, and then they laugh.
Well, no, but like I think of like Green Book, which obviously got a lot of awards attention. But like, there were some like super racist things in there that people just laughed at. It was like,
I think I remember. Yeah, I was there with a lot of older white gentlemen and ladies. I was I was the youngest person there. Like I was shocked, but I shouldn't be shocked at the same time. Yeah, there were like the bad guys. What do I call them? Just like the guys that were racist. They did.
There was a comment that Viggo Mortensen makes about Chinese people relatively early in the movie.
Yeah,
and I think it depends what character says it, because Clint Eastwood so charismatic. Like when he insults you, it's like, oh, I like that, you know.
He's like says it real tough wise, and it's like, yeah, you say it. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's fine. It's like, I like you. You can tell me whatever you want. But if it was the worst character, you will say like, that's a little racist.
Well, a little more or less racist than his character in Gran Torino.
I think Gran Torino is a little more.
A little more? Okay, now we have a nice bar to set the levels of Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that's the thing. It's I know how to laugh at my race. So like, I'll even use those insults towards some people.
Hey, you know what? I can't speak for all of us, but I know that white people laugh at a lot of things we've done. There was a post, I don't know what it was, but like the stuff that white people say, and like the top one is like "Geez Louise," on a list, and that's really self-aware because I say that way too much, and I was like, wow, this gotta laugh at yourself and some of the weird things you do. Okay, that topic aside, we're gonna go. I watched the two movies we're gonna be talking about this year. This episode. Thank you. I posted this year. Where are we right now? I'm tired. We're talking about Into the Spider-Verse and Roma. I was looking forward to seeing these for a while, and I finally sat down and watched Roma yesterday, and I sat down and watched Spider-Verse today with my sister and friend. And how do you know what? Let's start with what do you guys start with, Spider-Verse or Roma?
I don't.
You're the host.
Why do you always throw that? You aren't wrong, but still, let's go with the let's go with Spider-Verse first, because that one has less of the Oscar potential, but it's still probably a bit more, recognizable, we'll say at this point. So let's start off with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So initial thoughts for me concerning this movie is I adored this movie. I had the biggest grin on my face the entire time. As someone who read the Spider-Verse crossover, it is definitely not the same type of story whatsoever. But it took elements in relation to characters crossing over, characters meeting, and just kind of like the overarching story. Man, I love this so much. It was a utter blast to watch and listen to. The art style. I keep wanting to call it art style. The animation was akin to a comic book in the sense of everything felt like it was jumping right off a page. And I saw this in IMAX, so this was even sharper and very clear, the image. So everything literally popped out as a comic would. And bravo for the animators who took this style and took this direction, because it is something that really makes itself stand out from any other animation that's currently out there, be it any medium of film or TV. And of course, the voice acting was really great. I need to check who played Miles.
Lakeith Stanfield.
It was She Make something.
Or Shamik Moore. Wait,
Yeah, that one.
was it? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was Lakeith Stanfield?
Lakeith Stanfield is the guy in
Amig Moore.
That's it. I think that's it. I'm just trusting you in this because I'm still looking for it right now. He was fantastic. I loved what he brought with the character, and surprise, there were a lot of famous people in this that I did not expect. So that was a big shock, but in a good way. Yeah, but no, I love this movie. Utter blast. I'm probably going to see it again just because of how much fun I had and how kind of heartwarming it also was at the same time. I did not expect that. It's very not terribly complicated, but has just enough emotional drive to really get something out of the audience, and for me as well to really kind of care about the main characters of both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. So, Abe,
Manny.
tell me about this movie. What'd you think of it?
I thought the movie was amazing. I just fell in love with it, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most important thing I think of the movie is the characters, and I think it's something you see. Like, I know this is not a Marvel Studios movie, but like most of the things you see in the Marvel movies is the characters, and you remember every single character scene. Like even the smaller characters, like or I think this is spoiler, but the scientist, you like her. It's played by Katherine Hahn. You like
Yes.
yeah, and even Kingpin. I thought Liev Schreiber did an amazing job with Kingpin.
Didn't
and
he?
It works because I think this is a connection. Like if you see Daredevil works, it's like you connect with Kingpin. Like you're connected with the character. Sure, in another medium, but so you can feel for the character. I think the story was really, really good. Like, there's no way you can do this live action. I think it will blew everybody's mind. The score, I really like the score. I don't know who was. I have
Who
no
did the
idea
score? Oh,
Yeah.
I can find it out
thought it
right
was
now.
very great.
Daniel Pemberton.
No idea who you are, man. But you did a great work.
Yes, he did.
The character design, I really like Nicolas Cage, which is the Spider-Man noir. I
Mhm.
was hoping to see more of him. Like that was my favorite. Like I was hoping more for Peter Porker. Is it the name of the
Peter Porker. It was Peter Porker, but it was just Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham? I was hoping to see more of him.
John Mulaney.
Like there's a line where he referenced what's the name of the Bugs Bunny? I think
That's
was the funniest. Can you legally say that?
I love that.
That was great. If I have to say something bad about the movie, it's like there's like the animation, like it kind of doesn't like. I have to adjust my eyes like several times because I thought like I'm seeing blurry. Like I don't know, it just felt weird seeing it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I noticed that, and I was like, this has to be like a
Yeah, it was on purpose. Like you can see it through a whole movie, but like it's still weird. Like there's several parts where the foreground is good and the background is like really, really blurry. Like they were trying to do like a different lens, but like it didn't work for me in that part. But I really, really like this
movie. Yeah, I agree. Co-sign all that. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I like this movie a lot. It's batty as hell.
Yes,
and that's kind of what I like about it. I think that a lot of the underlying story elements really work. I think its craziness really worked. I think its boldness in animation styles worked. I liked how they made it more framic instead of smooth in a way, which I thought was really interesting. I thought that they did an interesting job having the different spider people with different animation styles, which I thought was very unexpected and cool and interesting. And I also liked that they didn't quite fit in the frame properly, which you really sort of never see. And I was like, oh, okay. And I quickly got on board with that, and I was very into it. Even though I really liked this movie, I'm going to say a couple bad things just because I feel like I should counterbalance a little bit. even though I gave this thing 4.5 stars, so maybe I shouldn't counterbalance.
Go
But
ahead.
but I think that the movie is distinctly overstuffed, and I don't think we get some very good moments with things that I feel like we could have drawn out a little bit more.
It's
And I
very
think
short.
It's not short. It's like
With
No.
with everything that it has going on,
Oh,
it feels
because for an animated movie, it's like kind of long because it's an hour and 56 minutes. Like usually, I see animated movies like
Yep.
an hour 40 minutes.
But I actually agree with Ryan in that regard. I did feel like a lot was going on. But go ahead,
and
Ryan.
there's a few characters that you just kind of don't get a lot from, who are just sort of like overlooked. And then there are moments with your main characters that they spend some time with, but like you feel like they could have spent even more time with, and that would have been advantageous. Like, I don't know. There are just some things about this movie that I'm like, well, you could have done this better. You could have done this other thing better. And that kind of bugged me a little bit. But I think what this movie gets credit for is it gets credit for boldness, and it gets credit for being really interesting, and it gets credit for doing this character well and for being just wildly entertaining.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where, but I don't think it has like. There's a lot of people who are talking about purpose in this movie, and I see what the movie is trying to say because they really hit you in the face with it, with the post credits, like not the post credit scene, but the post credit like tag. And I'm like, okay, I understand that this is the hammer you're trying to throw at me, but I also didn't exactly get that message out of this movie, and I feel like this movie was just an entertaining piece of art rather than a movie that is actually trying to say something, which is why I graded it high, but I have qualms with it.
No, I see. I don't see this as something that was like, I still have like, to me, my favorite Spider movie is like Spider-Man 2 because it was able to do a lot more and had a lot less going on. But there was emotional stakes in this one that I got on board with. There were some great character moments with the character of Miles that I still adored and loved. I just also wish we had more time to really flesh those out because, right, they have a stacked cast. Let me read out the cast for you guys. We have Jake Johnson, Chris Pine, Haley Steinfeld, Mahershala Ali, Brian Tyree Henry, Lily Tomlin, Zoe Kravitz, Nicolas Cage, Catherine Hahn, Liev Schreiber, Lake Bell, and just goes on and on and on. And we have a cameo. Well, I won't spoil for that. We'll just say Oscar Isaac has a small cameo as a character that kind of threw me off for a little bit. But this is a stacked cast. Like, this is there's a lot of famous names to it and a lot of stuff going on, which helped in the sense of it felt like a very lived-in universe. It was felt very broad, very wide, very large. But at the same time, I wish we had more moments. There was a moment between Jake Johnson's character and his like reluctance, because in his universe, can we do spoilers now? I think we should. Go ahead. You guys did good with all your necessary stuff, or do you want to go into spoilers now?
Whatever you want.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Hey, okay. Hey, why you do that to me? Put it all on my shoulders. Okay, we're going.
Your lead, Manny. Your lead.
Oh, I'll take it. Thank you. But the character of Jake Johnson is not the same Peter Parker from that universe. It's a different Peter Parker. Peter B. Parker, which I'm assuming is Peter Benjamin Parker. Is like Ben Parker is what I'm assuming.
I would assume it's not the middle that B will stand for. So
yeah, that's what I'm assuming. But in this one, the original spoiler. Here we go. Can't turn back now, guys. Chris Pine voices the Peter Parker from Miles' universe, and he dies at the beginning, first act of the movie, first 15 minutes, even I would say, probably first 15, roundish. This character of Jake Johnson's character of Peter Parker messed up. He's like Spider for what 30 years, sorry, like 20 something years. So he's a bit older, and he's messed up in his later years, and he has this. He's buried Aunt May. He's kind of like lost everything. He's kind of put on a couple pounds. He's not the Spider-Man he once was. He was also, and the joke, he didn't say divorced or separated. There was a pause. They're like, separated. Which I was like, okay, they didn't want to throw the window out completely because his character wants to keep back going with Mary Jane. And they had a nice scene at near the end where he sees the Mary Jane from Miles' universe. And they have a nice chat. I guess you can call it a chat. Really one-sided chat about bread.
Mm.
I really wanted more. As funny as that was, there's such an interesting topic of this guy wanting to kind of like be more than what he is, because it was handled very quickly, and I would like more time to really flesh that out, because I loved what Jake Johnson did with Peter Parker. I thought I'd be distracted thinking like, okay, that's Jake Johnson, I can hear his voice, but he fit that role like a glove, and I really wanted more for that, and I'm excited that hopefully we may get more, because this was already making a sequel. But that's like my only qualms. There was so much more they could have done but they had a lot going on, which I get what you're saying. It just felt overstuffed, and it worked for the most part, but there could have been so much more, I guess. Does that make any sense?
Mm-hmm. I feel like with Miles and that Peter Parker and Spider-Gwen,
Mm-hmm.
the three of them have like actual stories.
Yes.
And then the other guys really don't. Like Peter Parker is there to make a joke here and there.
Yep.
Penny Parker might as well not be in this movie. Like they try to have an emotional moment with her that just like,
no.
Why did you put that in there? She's barely in the movie. And then Spider-Man Noir, like some of the most beautiful animated movie art we've seen this year. And actually two of the most beautiful things in animated movie art we've seen this year have been in this movie. Because we had the Prowler art, which is just, God.
The sound design on the Prowler, too, was also very fascinating. Like to hear that.
He's barely, Spider-Man Noir is not even really in this movie very much. I don't know.
They're definitely like this, like they pick and choose what they want to highlight, and there were definitely more. I thought they'd have bigger because they were marketed. They're in the posters along with them usually. I thought they'd be have a bigger hand in it. But also my favorite scene in the movie, one of my favorite scenes. But okay, Catherine Hahn's character of Dr. Octavius, which I had no idea. I did not see that coming. That was one of my biggest surprises this year because I had no idea that was going to happen, and I was like freaking out. Because they hid that so well from all marketing. They basically just said Kingpin's the main villain from this one, and they showed a little bit of like maybe Tombstone and Green Goblin, but nothing about Doc Ock, and that was a really cool thing. And Catherine Hahn did actually a really good job. Like, has she ever done anything semi-dramatic before besides this year with like Private War? Not a Private War. What was that movie called? There's a movie that was a more indie film that was more of a drama, but this one I was very impressed. Which she became one of my favorite characters just because, of how they managed to do that. Because she's a very the character of Olivia Octavius is like a very is it Liv Octavia? I'm trying to remember exactly where, but she's in she is in the comics.
The thing is, I think she's because Miles' universe is not the main universe. I believe the Spider-Man voiced by what's the name?
Jake Johnson?
No, yeah, I think that's the main one because if you look at the badge of Miles' dad, it says PDNY.
Yes, I saw that.
It's a different universe. I believe Peter. What's the name of that guy that voices Spider-Man
in the movie?
Yes.
Jake
Johnson.
Oh yeah, Jake Johnson.
Okay, Jake Johnson. I think that's the main universe, and the alternate one is the Miles universe.
If
I'm not mistaken, because
in the comics, yes.
Yeah, he's in the Ultimate universe.
In the movie, kind of says that too for me. Because
the movie kind of implies it's in the Sam Raimi universe, which I thought was a little bit weird.
That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
But in any case, what was it, guys? Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of the Sam Raimi universe, the homage to the very beginning sets the tone perfectly for this film of how it's breaking the fourth wall just enough to get you to to just kind of set the tone of this is going to be a joyous ride, go with it. And that one of where what did the character of Jake Johnson say? I don't remember everything, or some things I like to forget, and it cuts to the Spider-Man 3. Walking down, love that.
But that wasn't Jake Johnson. That was
Chris.
Was that Chris Pine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you sure that there wasn't
he re-recorded Jake Johnson re-recorded everything for the trailers that Chris Pine says in the movie.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that one was Jake Johnson's character because I thought that was the one that was going back to the Sam Raimi ones.
No.
No, it was Chris Pine.
Oh wow, okay. Didn't notice that. They sound
Yeah.
from Under the Mask. Can't from Under the Mask.
The movie you're thinking of that Kevin Hahn was in is Private Life.
Private Life. That's it. Thank you there, Malcolm. This is what Malcolm. This is his role. Help us when we fact check. He's a fact checker.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you saying? Ryan, did you remember?
No. I did want to comment. I saw this movie in D-Box, which was admittedly a weird way to say this movie, and it was very jarring. And I'm not sure. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, although if you want to experience what D-Box is, it might be a decent way because it was very active.
No taken. Also, can we just give a shout out to Wilson Fisk, who's had a pretty big year, being in 3 separate things.
Yeah, well, so can we talk about Wilson Fisk for a second? Because I thought that this Kingpin was very one note and uninteresting. And I think that, I think that some of the goodwill I gave this character is goodwill from liking Daredevil and liking the Daredevil TV show. Whereas I think that this Kingpin is actually kind of crappy.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm crappy. I'd say he's going more into the classic before we even had the Daredevil series. Kingpin was kind of very much kind of like, just like I'm the bad guy who may have lost someone that he cares about. I mean, the villains are not the characters in this movie with, deep emotional, it was just enough to show his motivation of why he's doing this. Not exactly enough to give him this incredible emotional arc. It was just enough to get the ball rolling, but we're getting spoiled with the performance of Vincent D'Onofrio in Daredevil is what it was like.
He's also really brutal. The movie's there's 2 deaths on the movie. The crawler and they're really brutal. You don't expect that from an. Is this PG-13 or PG?
It's PG.
It's I don't know how they get away with that.
No blood.
The animated deaths, that's pretty brutal. And there was something else I want to mention that I forgot.
Can we talk about let's talk about Stanley, because
my heart.
It was a beautiful last cameo, or last, so to speak, cameo.
Yeah, for now.
It won't be, but
no,
but it came at a good time. And I think the cameo itself is very good. And then I think the thing that they do in the middle of the credits is very beautiful. Even though I don't think that's what this movie's about, I do think that it was a beautiful tribute.
It worked for what the movie was doing or trying to do. That anyone could be a hero. That entire thing about the movie. Yeah, that Stanley one that Stanley one really just kind of hit home, especially after, I don't know, Peter's death got me really emotional in this one. I don't know why. Seeing Spider-Man die, one of my favorite heroes, was very...
Well, it was sad, and they were all standing out there.
Very
and everyone's
sad.
We are Spider-Man. And that was the most moving part of this movie.
We are Spider-Man. The kids, I think it's a metaphor. I don't think it means for you. I'm okay, you got me there, movie. I don't think she's talking to you. That was great. Yes, he used to be but though. No, I get what you're saying. That was really emotional, that entire part. Stanley, that almost brought me to tears, that entire thing. Oof.
I mean, it did.
It did, but almost for me, but it was close. I was close. I was more just oh, my heart is broken. Anything you want to add, guys, before we move on to Roma? Oh yeah, Oscar chances.
It's getting nominated. It's not my favorite animated film of the year, so I hope it doesn't win, and I don't necessarily think it will, because I think that the animated branch has a very strong group of people who are going to vote for a different film than this one.
You say Disney favoritism. Pixar favoritism.
But I do think that it's going to be nominated for sure.
I'm hoping, unless it goes the way of Lego Movie and just kind of breaks all our hearts.
I think if it wants to win, like it needs to win Critics' Choice and Golden Globes. If it wants a chance to win at the Oscars, because
Yeah.
it will create a buzz for it. And I think Critics' Choice, I think it's like a lot because the movie has like 98% in Rotten Tomatoes. I
It's
believe so.
very high.
So it has
97, I think.
whatever, but like I think it's the highest rated animated movie, and it has a big
Mhm.
chance. Like that's the important award. I think it's gonna, like Critics' Choice is gonna win it. Therefore, it's gonna get buzz for the Golden Globes. And
But like, how much like, and I'm not just saying this because I like a different movie more, but like, how
Incredibles
much?
2, cough, cough.
I mean, yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like Incredibles 2 is just a better movie, but so Incredibles 2 ended with a 94%, 7.9 out of 10. If you were to average the Rotten Tomatoes people, this okay, it's higher, but I don't know, like, I guess we'll see.
No, we'll see. This is definitely less up the Academy's alley. It's gonna have to get some wins outside of just like like I can see this winning the Annies. I can see this winning that one.
I mean-
Because the Annies don't like.
I think the Annies are gonna go with the Pixar movie as they usually do.
They actually don't. Surprisingly,
Okay.
no. They
Hmm.
they are notorious for like going against like Pixar films. Like what was
was it How to Train Your Dragon 2? I believe.
How to Train Your Dragon 1, the first
No,
one,
but the second
over
one.
Toy Story 3, and then
Mm.
like
That one-
subsequently.
that one.
No.
But
The Academy has had a particular affection for Pixar.
No, Pixar. Yeah, no, definitely. They love their Pixar. That's their default.
The less the Cars franchise, but like the last big good Pixar movie that lost Best Animated was the first one. Was Monsters Inc. lost to Shrek. Was the last time Pixar, other than the Cars movies, which suck. Can we all agree with that?
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Yeah, like lost.
Spirited Away won Best Animated 1 year as well.
Yeah, but that year Pixar
True.
didn't come up with.
That's the secret.
And Wallace and Gromit: The Return of the Were Rabbit was also a year where Pixar did not.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Well, hold on. What? Like, hold on a
No.
second. Pixar didn't have a movie in 2016.
Yeah, that year
Right?
won. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's right. Because The Good Dinosaur came out in 2015.
Yeah, came out end of 2015.
Uh,
That year was the year of Zootopia.
Did they have one in 2014? No. Because none of them were nominated, so I'm
Yeah,
assuming no.
No.
How did they go? How did they go 2 years without a film? I don't think
Oh,
that.
Interesting.
No, 2013 was
Monsters University.
Monsters University. 2012 was Brave. 2011 was was Cars 2, which we don't talk about.
2011 was Cars 2, but 2014 was nothing, right?
Yeah, there was nothing.
2013, Monsters U did not get nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that I like, but like that does not deserve it.
Well,
Yeah.
but does it deserve it more than The Croods? I mean, I haven't seen The Croods, but that movie looks terrible.
Cruise is fine. I mean, they're about equivalent in my eyes.
The
Cruise
thing
is
is, like,
better than I thought it was
I
going to
don't
be.
think Pixar is that giant.
Pixar
that
had Finding Dory in 2016.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
we-
movie.
Then that one, right?
No, Zootopia
it
won
wasn't
that year.
nominated.
Oh, it was. Oh, so
No.
That's
No.
the thing. Like Pixar is not that giant that we thought it was once. I think in the last couple of years, like we've seen, like it's Disney animation that is taking over that category. But like this year, I don't think Ralph Breaks the Internet deserves it.
Well, no, but since 2010, what Pixar, Rango, who cares?
Hey, Rango's
Disney.
great.
Disney, Pixar, Disney, Pixar.
No, yeah, they have a monopoly, near monopoly on this category.
But like DreamWorks has been out like what since 20.
But anyways, I don't think the Disney people are going to vote for Wreck-It Ralph 2, even though that movie's hysterical.
It's
Yeah,
funny, but like it's not.
It's not The Incredibles 2.
it's very funny. It's my funniest
It's
movie
not
of the year.
Isle of Dogs. I mean, do you see Isle of Dogs?
Oh, like we have a different horse in this race. We're like, no, this one, no, that
No,
one.
but like, do you see like there's a chance like someone that deserves an Oscar? I think like has been nominated once for directing, and like 3 times for screenplay. Like Wes Anderson, like you can give him to him in the best animation.
Look, if
like,
Fantastic
could.
Mr. Fox did not win, this is not going to win.
He's not wrong. Fantastic Mr. Fox can't win it. Well, there's no
And
clear front
Fantastic
runner.
Mr. Fox got beat by a movie that's kind of shit.
Oh, what
which
is it?
I think people are recognizing now.
Wallace
Yeah.
and
What is-
Gromit, The Curse of the Were Rabbit.
No,
Oh.
that movie is good. It was beaten by Up, which
Whoa! Kick him! I'm kicking you off the podcast right now, sir. You are getting. You are gone. Where is the mute button? Where is the mute button? Where is the mute? There it is.
I happen to agree with.
It's been muted. He will not be
I
on this
happen to agree
podcast
with
ever
Ryan
again.
that the first 30 minutes of Up are really great, and then the last part is like fine.
Okay, you're all muted. That's it. It's just me. It's just gonna be me now. You are not. None of you will just the dare disgrace. This is not gonna be fun. I can't talk about. I can't.
well, I can.
Nope. Muting you all again. Okay, fine. I can't. You're right. I can't do that. I can't because we got to move on to Roma now because we won't speak about this blasphemy anymore because you're talking about probably my third favorite Pixar film. So none of that anymore. None of that anymore, guys. Jeez, wow. I'm taken aback by that. We're gonna move on to Roma now. But before we begin, there's someone on this podcast who I want to hear before anyone else because this has been his favorite movie he's never seen yet, and that is Abe. Abe, you watched Roma, not on the big screen, I'm assuming. You watched it on Netflix.
Correct.
Oh, man, I wish seeing this on the big screen probably is the best way to go because
Yes, correct.
I'll explain why I feel that way. But Abe, take us away. Roma.
I hate this movie. No, just kidding. I just want to see Manning's reaction.
I was shocked. I was literally shocked for a second.
No, like I have to be honest. I wasn't liking it like to an
Liking
hour.
it.
Yeah, like I wasn't. I was enjoying it, like seeing like, oh, this works. It's good acting, good direction. I mean, Cuaron is a master. Like, it's probably his best crafted movie, honestly. Like through all, like, I mean, it doesn't have a score, but like the direction he does is like amazing. Like Cuaron, he's probably the best working director. Like with using the camera to tell a story.
Mhm.
Like I cannot. Well, yeah, he's probably the best one right now. Doing with the camera, but like I wasn't into the movie like till an hour until one moment. Can we talk spoilers?
Go ahead. Spoilers. Sorry, guys.
Okay, it's until what's the name of Chloe says to the mother like she's pregnant. That was the moment where I thought, okay, that's why you're trying to say me because the movie's about life. Like sure, I don't think there's a story at all, but like it's where I fell in love with the movies with its simplicity. Like if you understand, like this is just a simple movie that it's just trying to portray life in Mexico City in the 70s, which I think it does really well because I've been in Mexican City and like if you see the movie, it just looks like Mexico. Like when they go to eat to the to the torteria, it's like if you enter anywhere in Mexico, you go and it's a reflection of it. And I think everybody talks about Yalitza, but like Maria del Tavira, I think. Yeah, Maria del Tavira. I think she's the best part of the movie. She's the most.
Which one is she again?
She's the mother.
Oh, okay.
She's the greatest part of my movie for me. I think I just wish I could have watched it in the big screen because if not, it would be my favorite movie. Like it's the second one right now, but I bet you if I saw it like in the big screen, I will just die watching it because I cry. Well, until the end, like after 10 minutes of thinking about it, I start crying. So it was like a delay emotional response. I can talk about this movie so long.
Well, we'll stop you there. More? We will talk about it in a little bit. But initial thoughts, Ryan.
How do I sum up my thoughts?
He's gonna break my heart.
No, I'm not gonna break your heart. It's a very good movie. I don't think I would like, and maybe this is just a personal failing, but I don't think I was as moved as I should have been. Like everything about this movie is very good, and I love Alfonso Cuaron, and I think that his direction of this movie is quite brilliant. I think the cinematography in this movie is brilliant. I just the sheer look and beauty of this movie, like as a visual piece.
Oh yeah,
is I think second to none in what I've seen this year. I just sort of like I found myself just kind of plodding through. Like there are moments that are like very powerful, emotional. I think that moment where Cleo tells the mom that like she's pregnant and they have that conversation. I think that's a powerful moment. If we're going spoilers, I think the stillbirth is another incredibly powerful moment.
Yes.
That was moving. I know people have been very wound up by this beach scene. Which I don't know, maybe I was just too tired or something, but like I did not find myself especially moved by that part of this movie. But the thing is that this is such a beautiful piece of art, and I think that it's executed in such a beautiful way. This is like a movie that I think, it deserves a lot of recognition. It deserves, like, it's a movie that I think would belong in the Criterion Collection, but not necessarily one that I would want to pull off the shelf and watch. It's not like a touchstone in that way. And I think this is like, and not to continue to compare movies, but like, I think about it in context of like, in context of its naturalist sort of theme. And it's not even like, even though I'm probably going to wind up giving it the same grade, I haven't graded Roma yet because I just couldn't bring myself to do that. I'll probably wind up grading it the same as the naturalist movie that I really loved from this year, which was Lean on Pete. But I think that Lean on Pete is such a dramatically, or at least was for me, a more dramatically moving movie that I just struggled a little bit with this one, I guess.
No,
but even though I respect the hell out of it,
I am going to 100% echo everything Ryan said, co-sign that. This movie, and Abe as well, because the first hour, this movie is basically an exercise in the showing how Alfonso Cuaron is one of the best, not only directors, but cinematographers we have. I'm like, geez, why can't he do more cinematography? Because I know directors can do cinematography, but this cinematography might be one of my favorites of the year, just by how every single action is planned. The excellent use of the rule of thirds, and even like the golden ratio. I've reading something about that, but it's framed in a way. The framing of each picture is so deliberately planned and so intricate that it just made me appreciate every single frame that he was crafting, every scene that he had. It was the pace of the camera, the direction of the camera, how he wanted to place his actors. This was one of the most deliberate films, and I loved it. But at the same time, that first hour was so methodical and so like disconnected from the viewer. I just didn't care. I was just kind of like waiting for some inciting incident. It's very different from the sense of a traditional narrative. There is no inciting incident. There is no, character emotional arc for her to go through until we get to like what? When does that happen in an hour of the movie where she finds out she's pregnant?
About that.
Yeah. It wasn't until really stuff like that is when I began to really start to care about her character of Cleo. I really began to care of her when stuff like that began to happen. She had an emotional need, and an emotional a dramatic need. There we go. I was looking for, and see it through of seeing the baby being born and taking care of that. Come to the stillbirth scene, which might be one of my favorite scenes of the year. Just that entire thing of her getting into the hospital, her reaction, just the framing of the shot might be one of my favorite scenes of the year. It doesn't beat some things like First Man on the Moon, but this comes incredibly close. Yeah, my biggest qualm with the movie is just that this is a movie that is paced very slow. It's a slice of life that kind of leads it to the fact of you're either in or you're out. And I was kind of out for part of it because it's just wanting you to live with these characters, and that can either work or it can't work for you. And I didn't really care enough until we got like halfway through the movie. But when it got to that halfway point, for better or for worse, I was fully enthralled. And yeah, I got a little teary-eyed in that stillborn scene because that was a hard watch right there. But Roma I can see where the praise is coming from the technical side because, man, he's one of the best working today.
He's the boss.
He definitely is. But no, yeah, did you guys feel that way at the beginning? You're just kind of like checking your watch and wondering why is this not on the big screen and why am I watching this on Netflix?
Yes, I think that hour is so important because like when that moment, like the first let's say incident as you call it, where she tells the mother like Chloe tells the mother like she's pregnant, that moment works because you have met the characters and the interactions they have with each other. You can see like what's the name of the mother? Is it Maria? I think it's Maria.
Uh, I cannot recall. Like only person I remember is the name of the main character of Cleo. Well, that's not your full name.
Yeah, but like is it
I
Sophia?
mean, that's her
Yeah.
name. That's the relevant part of her name.
Oh yeah, but like no, but like I mean the mother. Like,
The mother is Marina.
yeah, but that's the name of the
Oh wait,
actress.
that's the actress. It's Sophia.
Okay, yeah, Sophia, I was right. Uh, I think that moment works because you see sometimes where Sophia tells Chloe like, "Oh, you did that," or she yells at her, but like you can
Oof.
still see that love they have at that moment. I think it also works for me because I grew up with someone like that, like through my first 8 9 years, like someone working in my house, staying like taking care of me, and it was so relatable in that way. Also, it takes place in Mexico. That makes sense too. And that worked because there's people like that. Like you
Hmm.
see it, and they're like your second mother. Like
Yeah.
it's just, and you see that with the kids that they connect way more with Cleo. They talk. Well, you don't see that much, but like you sense it. Like they connect more with Cleo than with her mother because her mother has other things in her head with her. The father is an asshole. Can we say that?
Yeah. Now we can. Can we also say fuck Furman? Like,
Yeah.
what a piece of
Oh.
garbage shit. Like,
Yeah. Like
God.
I wanted to take him out of the screen and just like, give him a good roughing up because like this was like I thought he'd be like, maybe like he's just scared, he doesn't want to do this, he's not sure what to do. No, he's just a terrible human being.
And that's
He's
how
just a
many, like I've heard so many stories like that, guys. Like right here, like being
Really?
like
he's
messing
such
up
a
and
garbage piece of shit.
yeah,
Like, ugh.
it's not a man.
Say it for the people in the back, Ryan.
Huh?
Say that again for the people in the back.
Garbage
you
piece
go.
of shit.
No, he is. The acting yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try it again. You ready, guys?
Yes.
Yalitza Aparicio.
Nope.
Does that no? Nope. One day. Yalitza as Italian.
That
I
one,
didn't.
Galitza. That one's good. The
Yalitza
Aparicio. You say Aparicio. It's Aparicio.
Aparicio.
You're almost there. Let's not try it again.
Okay. I'll just call her Yalitza for now. But her character, I think she does phenomenal because her character is very much. There's no emotional big Oscar scene, quote unquote. It's very much a subdued performance. Like this movie is very subdued. You always feels kind of distant from. You're never like right in their faces. You're always distant from the characters, which you're almost like you're viewing a documentary. Does that make sense? How it's not like up close and personal. It's more just kind of watching stuff unfold. There's a lot of panning. A lot of wide shots. Not a lot of close-ups, which I noticed that, and that helps us really get intimate with a lot of the characters. But a lot of one-take shots. It's a very different type of film and very experimental in the sense of how it relates to the audience. It kind of showed me how important a close-up shot is, me personally, but it still worked despite that, and how we got to really. Yalitza managed to give a really dynamic and really interesting performance, but also, yeah, you're right. Sophia, the mother.
Marina del
What was that? Do I dare try it?
Marina de Tavira.
That what?
Marina
Marina
de
de
Tavira.
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 Marina de Tavira.
Yeah, you're almost. Yeah, you should be fired from this show.
Well, I should be. You know what? Just fire Manning from anything that's not Italian.
You said something about the close-ups, and that's true because I can only remember one close-up in the movie is when Fermin is dancing. No, but like when you see Cleo, I think that's and it's
Yeah.
not that much of a close-up. I think that's the
It's
only
not.
close-up I can remember.
Yeah.
The entire
not-
movie.
Let's just say I was not prepared for that close up, and I almost decided to watch this with my family. So that would have been very awkward for.
Yeah, that one was. I couldn't sleep that night.
It's very out there.
Yes.
So on the subject of like Cuaron's like movement, I think that he does. I mean, we saw this in Children of Men, so like we sort of knew that he had this ability, but I think the way that he uses the set and uses the space in the set to like just keep things going. But I'm just gonna use this. Like, there's at one point where she just like walks outside and just doing the laundry, and like he stays inside, and you see her walk outside, and you see her through the window. I was like, this is a really amazing shot. He just like came up with one day.
Yeah,
like,
it's like he
like,
definitely
how did
has
you
these in his
block this
brain.
shot, like, anyways. So I really like how he like, and again, this is one of the things about this movie is that it's such a stunning piece of visual art that you're like, okay, like you can't walk away from this movie even if it doesn't move you, like without like a certain degree of respect for it. The one thing I will say though, I will like on the subject of this being on the big screen versus being on Netflix.
Yes.
While I certainly would like to see these sorts of images on the big screen, and I think that they would play very beautifully in that setting. This is this and like the Meyerowitz stories and these sorts of movies, I think that they play very well on Netflix. And I think that that's the kind of quality I wish Netflix would try and achieve, because like you watch like a lot of their other movies and frankly, they're kind of garbage. Like, even if people like them, they're kind of garbage. Like, people really like this Kurt Russell Christmas Chronicles movie, but let's be honest, it's kind of garbage. And I really appreciate that there's movies like this that, like, yes, even though I'm sort of deprived that I can't see it in like all of the majesty of a big screen, although like watch it on, you know, a really high quality setup at home.
I say
like,
good for you.
You do an okay job. But like, even though you don't see it in all of its majesty, it's just it's the quality and the sort of movie that I think Netflix allows you to make. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just felt it because, well, I'm watching it on my 21 inch computer screen, so it's not exactly great. We'll say that. I felt it mostly at the beginning just because of like, okay, I kept checking my watch, wondering why, like, okay, is something going to happen? And I don't like having, I guess it's more like the idea of like having that, if you're in a theater, you're distracted by nothing else, and I want to be fully engrossed. And because it wasn't engrossing me, I felt like if I had all distractions taken away, that would enhance and make me appreciate the beginning of it more. I'm probably going to watch this again before, like, you know, Oscar night, just because I want to be able to like fully, you know, grasp it in a way that's not... Now that I know what's coming, because I had no idea what was coming prior.
And the nice thing is you have that ability. You can just turn on Netflix one day and watch it again.
That is the plus. That is the plus.
And that's great. And it's out and like everybody can see it. It's not just like If Beale Street Can Talk, which is just, you know, elitists in LA getting to watch it and go to Q&As and all this bullshit. And it's like, no, like, can you share with the rest of the world, please? And
I'm gonna go
like,
cry now.
I don't know. There are things about it being on Netflix that I like.
Yeah, there are pluses and cons.
What I miss about like seeing these in the big screen is like once these three big moments in the film happen, I think like the energy in the room definitely affects your experience, and that was what I'm missing. I think if I saw this in the theater, this movie would have break me.
Yeah,
but like seeing it like by myself at 2 a.m, it's like, like I can pause it, I can cry a little bit, go back, I cannot go out, like, you know, and that's the most important thing for me. But like going to a movie is like that energy that other people have, like everybody experience different things, and that I think Roma is a movie you should experience with someone. Like if you can say, I don't know, with your family, because that for me seeing was interesting, but like
this movie's got dick.
Yeah, it does. It does. Surprise! It's a surprise. It's like, oh yeah, this is R. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
very flaccid too. So You're not wrong.
It's a rare find. On the subject of
Fine.
on the subject of how I was going to think of a very bad way to transfer.
Let's say, let's see him do that.
So I want to
I
talk
thought
about
you were about to say.
I want to talk about a certain motif that's in this movie. That like
Okay.
about
The dog?
No, not the dog.
Okay.
About
Which I
this-
thought was going to escape. I thought the dog was going to escape and something was going to happen because they kept doing that.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of dog shit in this movie, and I didn't like that. Just continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there is a lot of dog shit in this movie.
There it is.
Okay, now that we've talked about dog shit, we're on a completely different subject, so you're not going to take this motif in the wrong way.
Okay.
The car being an awkward fit
Yes.
in the garage. I think that there's something that the movie is trying to say with that. Not exactly sure what, but I was just like, you're focusing a lot on this car pulling into this garage.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, they just get a thinner car. And
They
just
get what? No, that's actually a good idea because he spent because your only close-ups in the film are when the close-ups of the guy of the father, the doctor, smoking a cigarette and like
and parking
taking it in reverse.
in the
Yeah,
garage.
like that's a very deliberate use of close-ups. I need to watch this again. Like just tell you that
And it
scene and
happened.
like why?
It happens like
Why?
twice, and then there's the scene where she like rips the sides off the car, which apparently is not a big
Mhm.
deal.
Nope.
And
I think that was deliberate. I think she was just like, I'm gonna do this now.
it's just NBD, and then at the end they get a thinner car. I don't know, like
It fits. It actually fits inside the garage and it doesn't like stick out.
yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say about Roma? Oh yeah, of course. I keep forgetting Oscar chances, which we all know this guy has some pretty big Oscar chances for this. But I am now officially probably going to move off the Yalitza train. I'm taking her out there for now because unless they love Roma, I don't see her getting in because hers is very the least showy, we'll say, out of all the big ones that are out there. While I still think she has the possibility to get nominated, that's the one thing I'm not so sure about anymore. The cinematography, this had better win in cinematography because I have yet to see a more pretty film. Okay, First Man I'd get, but the shaky cam still annoys me. But oh well,
Yeah.
I'll get over it.
Well, First Man's just not going to get nominated because just
Oh,
fuck life.
It's gonna get
Um,
nominated for cinematography. Don't worry, just
Wow.
nothing above the line.
You wait, it won't. Yeah. I don't know. So I think this movie is not Oscar enough for all of that because it was touted to have like it was going to be nominated for Best Picture clearly and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well,
yes.
it probably deserves to be, but I don't think it's going to be because it's too arty.
Which I actually disagree. I see it very much getting because it's already like been lauded so much. I don't see it winning. I don't see a narrative in which it wins because it's still such a very, as you said, artsy film. I see Cuaron getting director. I see it.
I don't see Cuaron getting director, and I don't
You don't
see.
s-
I see this movie. I see this movie winning its foreign film race, and that is where it will be. And
That's it. Nothing else. Nominated not anywhere else.
No. I think it will win in cinematography, and I think it will get some below the line nominations. But I don't think that it's going to have all of the wild success that people thought, or that it was originally claimed that it was going to have. It's too blah for people. I don't know. Like, I haven't seen the Academy nominate this kind of melancholic, like sort of like I don't want to say nihilist because it's not quite nihilist, but it's like it just kind of like whatever slice of life movie
Yeah, but
maybe
like
ever,
you have
but certainly in a very long time.
you have to remember who's directing the movie. It's someone that it's know that has won recently, so that adds a level of respect. Like you said about like winning this artsy film. I was thinking about Silence, but Silence didn't get nominated because they
Yeah.
released way too late. It's such an artsy movie, as you say, but it's
Amazing
directed
movie.
by
Uh,
both of them.
But
But
I
like
mean, like Silence, like played like at least for Silence's sake, it traded on all of this. Like it traded on so much like religious emotion that I think that it had elevated itself that way. Like, I mean, I don't know.
'cause you see Roma, you've been hearing
I guess they did nominate Phantom Thread last year. So
yeah, but like that's even more straightforward than Roma, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a surprise hit like what The Artist was back in 2011.
But the artist is not that arty. I mean,
It's
called The
not.
Artist,
Well,
but
I
it's kind of a
I wasn't
cult.
saying it was an art, but it could be that surprise foreign language movie which takes the Academy by storm. Is what I was getting at, though.
One sec. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Roma is still like number 2 prediction wise for most people on Gold
No,
Derby.
it is. But the thing is, most people predicting on Gold Derby are critics, and this is a critics movie. Like, this is a movie that obviously the New York Film Critics were going to call the best movie of the year. This is a movie that obviously the LA Film Critics are going to tout as one of the best movies of the year. This is not and I'm not talking about the merits of this. Like, the movie is excellent and deserves a lot of awards attention. And, whether it makes my top 10 or not aside, I think that it belongs among the best pictures of the year. But I just think that the Academy has a style of movie, and I think this is too nothing for them.
Oh, ye of little faith! If this comes to pass, then you will be the first one that I know that has said this, and I will give you massive kudos if you predict this to be the case. I still see Cuaron getting it, as well as not winning director at this point, but more being nominated. But if he does win, this will be like a change in the wind for sense of like they're willing to be like.
And look, I'll be very clear. I want him to be nominated for Best Director.
No, you're just a hater, Ryan. It's okay.
Alfonso Cuarón is one of my favorite working directors. Like, I don't think that, like, honestly, and I mean, I know this is like his big franchise movie, but like, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban is a movie that just doesn't get enough respect for being as amazing as it is. And Children of Men is a movie that similarly, although it's the complete opposite of the franchise movie, similarly does not get enough respect among the masses. It gets enough respect in certain circles. And it's just, I don't know. You're right. Ye of little faith, but
anyway. What was that?
I think A Star Is Born is dying. I think Green Book is dying. Like, you don't hear a lot of. Have you heard A Star Is Born winning any like best film behind Roma?
No, but it's
like
gotten
we're
a
in
lot
critics
of
season.
Oh yeah,
critics are just totally not moved by a movie they've seen 5 times. Like, the Academy still is, though. That's just this thing. Like,
I haven't like you see The Favorite. I don't see The Favorite winning Best Picture. I think that's
no.
Can you see, like, just throw it out? Can you see Black Panther winning at all?
No.
Because you talk about a crowd pleaser. You talk about a big film.
I'm not talking about, the Academy doesn't like crowd pleasers. They like something in between. They like something that's like.
And that's what A Star Is Born currently at this point is. It still led SAG that day, which it got literally everything it needed to be, and that's a big thing within the guilds. It shows their support in the guilds,
and that's what I think it's going to do. And I'm not saying that's right. This movie's better than A Star Is Born. I
agree.
Like,
I think it's better, but like A Star Is Born a little bit more.
Like,
you love
like
it. Number one.
Star Is Born more, but like the lows or like the mids of A Star Is Born are just not as good as this movie. Anyways, I don't know. I don't trust.
Don't know. We don't know. We do not know. Okay, that is enough to talk about Roma and Spider-Verse for now. We have spent a long time on that one, so we're going to go directly into... Hi, Malcolm, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, good. Making sure. Make sure we didn't lose you. We're going to go straight into the Academy has officially announced their shortlist for, bear with me, guys, documentary feature, foreign language, visual effects, makeup, original song, original score. Does it makeup and hairstyling? I forgot.
Yes.
It is.
Okay. Yep. There we go. And a lot of the animated shorts as well too, which we may or may not get into because Lord knows, I can tell you nothing about the shorts at this time. But we can tell you about some of the other bigger names out there. And Ryan, you said you had the Oscars up currently,
I
the
do.
official list.
Yeah.
Aha! Could you go ahead and tell us what is the official shorts for? Let's start with what they have first. What do they have first?
They have
We'll
documentary feature first.
Then we will go with that one and talk about what they have currently.
Okay, so 15 films advance in the documentary feature category. 1/3 of these movies will be Oscar nominees by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Or by the end of this award season, not by the end of this year.
January 22nd.
So the documentaries that advanced were Charm City, which I've personally never heard of, Communion, which I've also personally never heard of, Crime Plus Punishment, Dark Money, The Distant Barking of Dogs, Free Solo, Hale County This Morning, This Evening, Minding the Gap, Of Fathers and Sons, On Her Shoulders, RBG, Shirkers, The Silence of Others, Three Identical Strangers, and Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Nothing too shocking, I think, missed. Nothing that we were like, oh no, that didn't make it.
So,
what was that?
and well, I just wanted to note something, and I don't know if this movie is eligible for the Oscars. I would hope it would be, but I don't actually know. And I haven't seen the movie, so I actually can't speak to its quality.
Oh.
But I'm hearing only stellar things. And it's being called, like, it's being compared to an amazing documentary. And this movie is called Dead Souls, which it's like an 8-hour documentary. And it's being called like the Shoah. It's being compared to Shoah, but this one is about people who were in communist re-education camps in China under Mao.
Interesting. I don't think I've heard of that before.
I was thinking you were gonna say the Peter Jackson War documentary that I saw the trailer for it in the Mule.
No. Oh no, I was gonna say
No.
Yeah, actually, now you mentioned it, I was surprised that one didn't slide into there actually, but maybe it was submitted too late, maybe, or something like that.
Well, because like I know that they've been like monkeying around with the eligibility rules with these movies that are very long, because people were all pissed off about OJ, which was. Anyways, we don't need to have that discussion. But I was a little saddened that it wasn't there, even though I haven't seen it, but I've heard only amazing things from people I trust.
Well, at that time, I'm definitely going to put that on my radar because that sounds really fascinating. I finally also saw Free Solo a couple of weeks ago. Really good documentary. Terrifies me to no end. I am never going to climb a mountain, guys. Let you guys know. Free-handed. Never doing it.
He doesn't do it. Right?
I watched Won't You Be My Neighbor this week.
You're going to see it?
Oh, I watched it.
Oh, you did? What'd you think?
Yeah, it was really, really good.
What was it?
I heard of that guy. To be honest, I didn't grow up in the United States. I have no idea who he was.
Did you have a nice cathartic cry?
No, but like I think if I saw him growing up, I would have. But like I fell in love with that guy. I started seeing videos of him because I think I have 3 documentaries highlighted that have been nominated. It's Free Solo, RBG, which is really good, and Won't You Be My Neighbor. Like I think those 3 are gonna get nominated. I'm not sure for the other 12 which other 2, but I think those 3 are the ones that have been coming out.
There's a safe 3 at this point.
Yeah,
I thought RBG was kind of bland, but I do agree that it's going to get nominated because
the topic is just
people are into Ruth.
Yeah, at this something happened. Suddenly she's like, which I might have been maybe out with the times and just not be paying attention to the Supreme Court. So sorry, guys. But yeah, no, I think
pay attention to the Supreme Court. It's important.
That's true. You're right. Hey, I know it exists. Okay, I know it's about 3 branches of government, so That's more than some people can say.
But how many can you name?
Oh, let's move on, guys.
Executive, and what's the name of the Congress one?
Wait, what?
The tree branch of
Wait, are we talking about naming the branches of government or naming the people on the Supreme Court?
It was Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who could not name the three.
Okay. I thought you were saying naming all the people on the Supreme Court. I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, I think you should name all the people on the Supreme Court.
I can say Chief Justice Roberts.
That is true. There is a Chief Justice Roberts.
I got that one. Well, of course, we have the legislative, judicial, and executive branches. So
that's
that
correct.
one. So see, I took my government courses.
The House of Representatives have like 443, right, or something like that. I don't know.
Ryan, you're the one who knows.
I can easily name all the justices on the Supreme Court.
Yes, you can. Okay, anyway, we're getting distracted. Yeah. Moving on.
90 in the Gap is getting nominated.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Right. I've also got 3 Identical Strangers sliding in there.
That's what I also have. That's like the safe 5, but I can see one of these kind of like just sneaking in suddenly.
What's 3 Identical Strangers?
It's a documentary about 3 identical strangers.
Triplets who were separated at birth.
Oh,
that's it. I haven't seen it. So.
I don't know the twist.
Oh, really? There's a twist? Oh, I gotta watch this now.
They find some reason that they were separated at birth. Like, obviously, why there wouldn't be a movie otherwise?
Okay, true. I thought it was just like their journey to get back together or something. I don't know.
No, nobody cares about that.
No, people who watch Hallmark might.
Shall we move on to the next topic?
Please and thank you.
Documentary short subject. 10 films advance. 5 of these will be nominated. The names of the films, since I'm sure that none of us have seen any of these.
Nope.
Are Black Sheep, Endgame, Lifeboat, Los Commandos, My Dead Dad's Porno Tapes, A Night in the Garden.
Whoa, what? I need to watch that one. I'm gonna highlight that one.
I'm about to say, I don't think anyone wants to watch what's inside those tapes, but move on.
Period. End of sentence. Like 63, Boycott, Women of the Gulag, and Zion.
I just want to say, like, most of the members of the Academy doesn't like watch these categories, and they just go to the more whimsical name. It's how I predict those because I have no opportunity to watch those. I will vote for that one, honestly.
My Dead Dad's Porno Tapes.
Yeah, like it's an interest. Like I just go for the craziest name, and that one usually wins.
Hey, you know what? It made us perk our ears up for a second. So
look, the documentary shorts are always super heavy.
They are. Well, it's probably gonna be very heavy.
Whatever the 5 heaviest are, I'm gonna assume Women of the Gulag is heavy. I'm gonna assume. I don't know.
Endgame sounds heavy.
Lifeboat, Endgame.
Isn't that the Avengers sequel?
I'm about to say it's the.
Los Commandos.
The trailer. There's nominating the trailer in game. All right, foreign language film. Let's move on.
Foreign language film. From Colombia, we have Birds of Passage. From Denmark, we have The Guilty. From Germany, we have Never Look Away. From Japan, we have Shoplifters. From Kazakhstan, we have Aika. From Lebanon, we have Capernaum. From Mexico, we have Roma. From Poland, we have Cold War. And from South Korea, we have Burning. I've been reading, I haven't seen this movie, but I've been reading that there's some controversy around the movie Girl, which is why it was not nominated, or why it was not included on this list.
That was the one that I was thinking was missing, because I remember I was hearing about that in precursors. Why is the controversy there again?
I have no idea.
Okay, I better say I haven't seen it. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
nothing...
Go ahead, Malcolm.
I mean, out of these ones, I think the 2 safe ones is probably Roma and Cold War at this point. Those are the 2 I've heard so much about, and the other ones I've got maybe getting in as Shoplifters, Capernaum, and Never Look Away.
I,
Yeah.
I think Cold War, Roma, Shoplifters, Capernaum, and Burning are gonna be the five. Because
Yeah.
I think that there are 4 obvious ones, and then you can pick maybe one of the others. I think that Roma, obviously, and I think it's going to win. I think this is just kind of a
Yes.
non-competitive category, even
Yeah.
though Shoplifters is distinctly a better movie than Roma, but whatever, we'll move on.
Man, I need to see
I
this
think
now.
that Cold War is getting nominated. I think Burning is getting nominated. I think Shoplifters is getting nominated. And then you can pick from the others what you like, I guess.
Flip a coin, guys.
you can watch my dad's porno tapes online for free in the New York Times. I'm gonna send you all guys a link so you can watch.
Please do. All right. We ready to move on to makeup and hairstyling?
Let's do it.
Makeup and hairstyling. 3 of these things will advance from this group of 7. We have Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, Border, Mary Queen of the Scots, Stan and Ollie, Suspiria, and Vice.
One that I'm surprised isn't in this list is The Favorite. Because with a lot of the period pieces, I would have assumed that Favorite would have been there as well. But I think for me, the 3 that might get in for makeup and hairstyling is I've got Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Mary Queen of Scots.
I see Vice getting in there because usually when you have a performance like Darkest Hour last year with Gary Oldman, and you have like the main character with such a big makeup, usually
Mhm.
gets nominated. I think Vice has a log in there. I say Black Panther too, and I'm honestly like, like I say Mary Queen of Scots because it's the only like period piece.
I don't know what Border is. I'm going to say Vice, Bohemian Rhapsody, and then Border or Mary Queen of the Scots, even though I don't know what Border is, but I'm assuming it must be good because
Order.
it's in this group.
That's true. Has it always been 7? Like, because it goes down to 3, right? There's still only 3, right? They're not moving it to
Yeah.
5,
Right.
which is the weirdest thing. But no, I don't be surprised if Suspiria can get in because they literally changed. They made oh my goodness, what's her name? Tilda Swinton into a man in this. They made up an entire actor just for her.
I mean, that's not that difficult for Tilda Swinton.
It was like
It is Tilda Swinton, but that's still. I mean, if you're giving that to Christian Bale for like Vice, the fact that they did that for Tilda Swinton is still fantastic. But it depends on if they. I don't see them doing for Suspiria, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Vice, Bohemian Rhapsody, because that's apparently going to be a thing, and then Black Panther. Black Panther being like I guess the safest, which still at the same time none of these feel safe because the makeup branch likes to go crazy usually. If we all know,
They did nominate the 100-year-old man who climbed out a window and ran away or something.
Yep, and everyone
Whatever
saw that,
that
right?
movie was called.
Exactly. So this is going to be really interesting, which because they do whatever they feel like. But yeah, moving on.
Music original score. We had Annihilation, Avengers: Infinity War, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Panther, Black Klansman, Crazy Rich Asians, The Death of Stalin, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, First Man, If Beale Street Could Talk, Isle of Dogs, Mary Poppins Returns, A Quiet Place, Ready Player One, and Vice. This is just such a crackpot category.
I'm so happy Annihilation got nominated though. I love that score. Like that score haunted my dreams for days and weeks upon afterwards at how like visceral it was. So bravo for whoever did that. This kind of like does Black Panther get one for this one is the big question. Like how much does Black Panther get?
Yes.
Ludwig Göransson's score for Black Panther is really good.
I haven't listened to it and like I need to go back and check it out.
That's a really good score, The Crimes of Grindelwald. James into Howard, like whatever you think about the movie, I really like it. But I think that score is like amazing. Isle of Dogs, like Alexandre Desplat. It's like
I can totally see them doing that.
First Man, because I think just they like
deserves it.
Sure.
It's a great score.
There's two Alan Silvestri scores that I can tell rated pretty, one and Infinity War. So.
Oh yeah, he did do that. I think the safe bets right now are for these below the line categories, I can't really say a safe bet because they do what they want. Black Panther, what I have, First Man, Beale Street, I Love Dogs, and then I have Mary Poppins Returns because I feel like if that's going to get a song, they're going to throw score possibly. And maybe not. Look out for A Quiet Place to do something again, maybe.
I would really love if A Quiet Place got nominated. It's such a
That's a good score. It is a great score.
It's so important for the movie.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've got I think Ready Player One could get in. I think Fantastic Beasts 2 is really good and could get in. I've got Infinity War. Black Panther, I think, could sneak in because I believe it got a score in something else.
Golden Globes, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, there was ones like you don't remember, like as much as the score is good, you don't remember it for the score. A lot of people remember it for the rap music they played in the interludes, anything. And I've also got If Beale Street Could Talk on here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Beale Street deserves that nomination.
Do you guys
haven't even watched it.
Do you guys remember?
Listen to the score.
Do you guys remember scores in Crazy Rich Asians or The Death of Stalin? Because I don't.
No,
I have not seen Death of Stalin yet. But I don't remember anything in Crazy Rich Asians whatsoever, which shocks me.
The production design was really good.
I was very surprised to see those.
I need to go back and listen to that now, along with what was the other score you told me to go check out again? Black Panther. I need to go check that in Black Panther again independently. All right, moving on.
Yeah, honestly, I'll be happy if any 5 of these getting in, really.
I mean, most of them I'd be happy with getting in. Most of them, we'll say.
Okay. Music, original song. When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings from
What
Ballad
in
of
the
Buster
world?
Scruggs.
That's
Treasure from Beautiful
beginning,
Boy.
right?
All the Stars from Black Panther. Revelation from Boy Erased. Girl in the Movies from Dumplin'. We Won't Move from The Hate You Give. The Place Where Lost Things Go from Mary Poppins Returns. A Trip a Little Light Fantastic from Mary Poppins Returns. Keep Reachin' from Quincy. I'll Fight from RBG. A Place Called Slaughter Race from Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Amazing.
Oh Yeah Yit from Sorry to Bother You.
That was awesome.
Shallow from A Star Is Born. Suspirium from Suspiria. And The Big Unknown from Widows.
I'm not gonna lie, that place called Slaughter Race is a pretty baller.
It's not getting nominated, but like
it's not, but it's like
I like that someone gave it some thought.
Yeah. I mean, with this one, like the ones I'm pretty confident will probably get in will probably is Shallow and All the Stars. I mean, those are ones that've been getting a lot of buzz along there. For me, I think we're going to get at least one Mary Poppins one. I've got The Place Where Lost Things Go. I've got I'll Fight from RBG as a kind of out there pick. I've already said I've
do you know who the
thought
artist
about Ballad of Buster Scruggs, but I think when a Cowboy Trades at Spurs for Rings has a good shot of maybe getting in as an outside chance.
Okay. Everyone look out for Girl in the Movies making it from Dumplin'. Because Dolly Parton wrote and sings it. So
I had that one too. That was
that one made it in the Globe as well.
Yeah.
It did.
So I wouldn't be surprised about that. It's like,
yeah. It's
so question to the panel: like, even though we have some favorites that are getting nominated, do we all agree that since there is only one A Star Is Born song on this list, that this is 14 songs that are all going to be runner-ups to Shallow?
Yes. At this point, yes. I don't see how anything else can win unless Star Is Born does really poorly.
Realistically.
I think if anything comes close, it'll be All the Stars.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be honest.
But they're going to have to love Black Panther and really not like Star Is Born because I don't see anything else winning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Black Panther.
Also, the fact that they nominated Oyat, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, from Sorry to Bother You, is so cool. I'm not even gonna lie. That song is a banger. I've listened to it. It was from the trailer, and I played it once for a montage sequence, and it's actually a pretty fun song. It's not anything fantastic. The fact that I even mentioned it, I'm just going to give you guys props to that. I don't think it's going to get nominated whatsoever, but go listen to it if you guys have a chance. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Revelation, I can definitely see Revelation getting in because it's gotten everything else, including critics and Golden Globe. So it definitely has some love.
Yeah, sure. It's a decent song.
I like it.
All right. Animated short
Do you
film.
want to break a speaking line?
The what?
Do you want to have a break from speaking? Because I've got the Oscar thing up now.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Do you want to break from speaking or you got it, Ryan?
I'm okay. I mean, if you want to do it, you can, but I'm good.
And the
All right.
nominees are.
I'm fine with that. I remember one time I did the crit. Oh, never again. Never again. You go ahead and finish this up. We're almost done. Go ahead,
All right.
Ryan.
Animated short film. 10. So we have Age of Sail, Animal Behavior, Bow, Bilby, Bird Karma, Late Afternoon, Lost and Found, One Small Step, Pepe Le Morse, and Weekends.
Is any of those the ones that play in front of the Grinch? Because I did not watch that one.
What was in front of the Grant? I'm trying to remember what was in front
There
of the
was
Grant.
a short that I
The
didn't watch
only
it
one-
because it was late. So.
The only one I'm slightly familiar with is Bow, and I think there might be a Pixar short.
Yeah, that's a picture
Bow
of
is
Bow.
is the one that played in front of
What was it?
Incredibles 2.
Oh yeah. I haven't watched that one either. I was late. I'm late to the theater several times.
Yeah, so I mean, with
You're
Bow
late.
being with Bow being a Pixar short, that's probably almost
Yeah.
certainly getting nominated.
It's gonna win.
Yeah.
Let's
they're
be frank here.
yeah. Okay. All right. Not much to talk about for those because we haven't seen them. Finish up the last two.
All right, live action short film a category. I'm assuming we haven't seen any from. But
Nope.
We'll find out. We have Caroline, Chukotage, Detainment, Fauve, Icare, Marguerite, Mayday, Mother, Skin, and Whale.
Cool.
I predict 5 will be nominated and 5 won't.
There we go. That is an excellent
That is a
prediction.
bold prediction by Malcolm there. Wow.
Also, props for pronouncing. How'd you pronounce the second one again?
Chukotage.
Chukotage. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry. We all know how good I am at pronouncing things. So I'm just. We'll see. No one can tell us otherwise. No one here is French, right? All right, go ahead.
Category.
Let's do it.
Visual effects. This is going to be fun. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Hey, I watched
Avengers Infinity
that.
War. Black Panther.
I watched that.
Christopher Robin.
Oh, I watched that.
First Man.
I watched that too.
Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom.
I have also watched that.
Mary Poppins Returns.
That's an open house and watch.
Ready Player One.
Watch that.
Solo. A Star Wars story.
Hey, they submitted.
And Welcome to Marwen.
Can we talk about like out of the 10 Disney movies released this year, 6 of them are on the race?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Like, that's just like, what's not nominated? A Wrinkle in Time and The Nutcracker are the only ones. Oh, and the 2 animated movies. But
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Did you expect to be nominated?
I mean, Aquaman. I think Aquaman is missing. I think the visual effects in Aquaman's are really good. Like someone that saw it, like in the, I don't know, like it's an underwater movie. So what can you expect of visual effects of beasts?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
so
I
I think that I actually thought Aquaman would be on this list, but anyways, First Man I think gets nominated because of it and Welcome to Marwen. I feel like the visual effects in First Man are a little more respected.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. It's subtle. It's nothing.
And then I think we're gonna have 4 of the blockbusters
out there
fill out the rest.
But
Christopher
like,
Robin is kind of a weird pick.
They're really good. Like,
no, those are pretty good. I mean, Winnie the Pooh.
They're good, but like it's,
great.
I feel like
it is weird.
Like everyone forgot about.
except Malcolm.
I like it too.
I liked it too.
I did love it, but
I mean, I actually don't have First Man getting in this. I've
Ooh.
actually got, I mean, I've got Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Christopher Robin, Ready Player One, and Solo. I mean,
Maybe.
I don't think Christopher Robin would win, but I just think it takes a lot of effort to get those sort of
yeah.
effects to make it look like an actual toy in that there. So I think
Mm.
it does have some merit to be in here.
Also, let's
Like-
not forget the fact that when you have these movies that aren't like Avengers: Infinity War, Black Panther, okay, we assume some of those might get in, but the fact that Christopher Robin made it in, which is a smaller film, we're like, okay, wow, there's definitely some love in the branch for it to get this far. So watch out just in case.
Hmm.
But what wins? Like I think Avengers: Infinity War. Like there's some like the Hulkbuster. It's terrible
Mm.
how it's done at the end. I think that their arc of Black Panther, the battle,
Ah,
terrible.
They better not give it
But
to
the
Black
whole
Panther.
was
Ugh.
terrible in Infinity War. Infinity War was a pretty stellar.
The Hulkbuster at the
Yeah,
end.
outside
Mark
the
Ruffalo's
Hulkbuster.
head. Yeah, like that one took
I mean,
me out of the
just
movie.
from Thanos alone, like that's
Yeah, but like
I think
Jurassic World is
Infinity
like
War is
combined.
probably the front runner.
Oh yeah, I think that
probably.
Yeah. I mean, I think Ready Player One could give it some challenge. I actually like the visual
Yeah.
effects in Ready Player One, so if
It's such a
anything,
visual effects heavy movie, so yeah. Yeah. Interesting. R.I.P. Paddington 2.
Yeah.
List.
I'm about to
yeah.
say
Well,
Americans do not
yeah.
like Paddington too.
well, I mean, that surprised me because it surprised that Christopher Robin got in, but yet Paddington 2 was shut out. Maybe there's only enough room for one talking bear. So
Yes.
Well, but Talking Bear was better. Let's be honest here.
I mean, in the overarching world of things, Winnie the Pooh, but for the movie, Paddington, I'll go with that. Because Paddington was fantastic.
Do you think they're campaigning for Paddington because it was a Weinstein movie?
No,
And
they
then
weren't. They didn't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they changed I don't know who's distributing it now, and that's
But-
what I
but-
think that affects.
But people
Paddington.
wrote a lot of impassioned articles in
Yeah.
defense of Paddington 2.
I
I mean,
love the movie. I haven't watched it honestly.
I mean, I think the
Watch
other one when it comes, I think the other one when it comes to Paddington 2, there was out literally right at the same year, wasn't it? So it could have been a fact that just was
Forgot.
forgotten about because it was literally the start of the year. A lot of people probably forgot that it was a 2018 movie and not, and and they thought it came out 2017, so didn't bother voting for it.
Yeah, no, that's
Maybe.
probably
Yeah, but also let's not forget that it all Paddington 2 also made the list before this, so it got some sort of recognition.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
forgotten completely.
well.
Yeah,
Okay, but then it was forgotten about because let's be honest, it was better than Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was better
Yeah.
than Black Panther's visual effects.
Ugh.
It's like
Yeah.
I mean, I actually liked Ant-Man and the Wasp visual effects myself.
More
I
than
mean,
Black Panther.
I think they're more consistent, honestly. Like,
but
you
they
don't
were
see
such
Ant-Man.
they were such a step down from the first Ant-Man. That's where I was not able to give it a whole lot of.
yeah. I mean, the part of the reason I didn't put Black Panther on there was more of a case of there wasn't enough visual effects that grabbed me in Black Panther at all, but it just seemed to be more like stunts and stuff like that.
Well, let's not forget that the winner for the Oscar for 2015, I think it was 2015, was
Yeah.
Ex Machina, which had
Upset,
like no visual effects save for one character.
I hated that winning. I think the visual effects were great, but like that broke my
Wait, what else was nominated that year?
Mad Max Fury Road, Jurassic World, Age of Ultron, I think. I don't remember.
Was Jurassic World nominated?
Yeah,
Was
Oh.
yeah, it was.
Oh.
I think
okay.
it was. I'm not the
Yeah.
game visual.
we had a small one last year too, didn't we? Or no, it was
Cool.
last year was Blade Runner. That's right.
Yeah, last year was Blade Runner, which is deserving, 100%.
Did that one win?
Sorry.
Blade Runner, Blade Runner
Blade
won.
Runner, yeah.
Yeah, Blade Runner beat Guardians 2, Kong, Last Jedi, and War for the Planet of the Apes.
Well deserved. Because that movie is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. I'm not trying to think of like anything. No, there's nothing yet. The biggest one people keep saying is Aquaman, which I have yet to see. I'm not sure how it looks. No one has seen Aquaman here, have they?
I have. I've
You
been
have,
telling you
yeah,
for
I'm
the
sorry,
last
you did.
3.
I know. I realized I said that out loud. I'm like, you've seen it. Yet no one has seen Mary Poppins yet.
Okay,
That's the thing.
here's a question, guys. So every Star Wars movie that has come out in the Disney era has been nominated for an Oscar. Does Solo continue the trend?
I don't know.
In this category, mind you. I mean, some of them were nominated, but
the visual effects aren't bad in Solo. It's
No.
it's just like they just too familiar now.
It's just the movie's been forgotten.
And
Yeah, I mean,
familiar.
I think it'll get in. I don't think it'll win.
I mean, I will not be shocked if it misses, we'll say that. But at this point, the movie itself, I forgot we had a Star Wars movie this year, which is sad because that movie is just, for better or for worse. And even the people forgot to submit. I'm not sure if you were here, Ryan, but if you heard, they forgot to submit. That just shows that is. I'm still can't get over that. They forgot to submit the score on time. This just shows that even Lucasfilm is forgetting about this movie.
Someone's getting fired, but that's not.
Someone's definitely getting
clearly
fired.
they remembered the visual effects.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different team, and the people in the visual effects are definitely like, "Ooh, we saved our skins there." Yeah,
It plays great at home, by the way.
Does it?
Just put that on the record. I watched it on my laptop. I was like, this is actually really entertaining.
Well, there you go. It's probably a much better, like, fun outing to enjoy just while you're at home watching. Yeah, if anything, this is probably the only nomination Solo is going to get, if it gets anything.
Oh, for sure. But, like, is it going to get this?
It has the least chance out of all the Disney movies, the Star Wars films, we'll say. Because how much did Last Jedi get? It got both sounds, correct, and then visual effects.
Oh, you mean it's gonna have the fewest nominations? Yeah.
Yeah, fewest nominations. I mean,
and the thing is, like, those movies came out in December, and this one came out in May. Like, those were more fresh in the people's mind.
Yeah. It's all the buzz.
We were in Star Wars fever time, both the last 2 Oscar nominations.
Yeah, and now people are just like, well, yeah, we're getting a Star Wars movie next year. I forgot about that. Oh, okay. And that's, I guess visual effects is what we're all that's we're going to talk about at the moment, because we're going to find out in January what they decide. We'll see if that Solo nomination comes to pass. But at this moment, right now, it looks like it could. Right now, I think Black Panther is getting nominated just because they're going to be lazy and nominate it. And I don't know.
You hate that movie, right, Manning? You hate it.
I hate the visual effects in that movie, we'll say. I mean, okay, I don't hate this. Hate's a strong word. I highly dislike the visual effects. They're not great. They're not great at all. But no, I don't hate the movie. I think it's fine. I think it's very good, even. But we'll write those think pieces right after it gets nominated for so many Oscars, and people are like, but it's not a good movie. Why did it deserve to be nominated? And we'll have all these discussions after that.
Because of money.
I mean, if Suicide Squad can be nominated for makeup and hairstyling, then
Nah, you're not wrong. You were not wrong.
And win.
And win. Man, that broke my bracket right there. That broke my predictions for that year. Whew. Anything else you guys had to say about these shortlist nominations before we move on? And we say our goodbyes. No, nothing whatsoever. Anything about Roma, about Spider-Verse?
I think you should watch Roma as soon as you can.
Yes, please go watch it. It's definitely I wouldn't call it entertaining. I would call it a wonderful experience.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, it's a wonderful experience to watch that. And also, don't forget, I forgot to mention, Spider-Verse is already confirmed to get a sequel, and we'll focus on Miles and Gwen. See, they're already greenlighting it.
Can we end this show on like a somber note, or do we not want to go out sad?
Let's do it. You know what? Let's go out sad.
So Penny Marshall passed away, and I think that's
yeah,
and
director of great films such as League of Their Own.
Yeah, star of Laverne and Shirley, and she was a very talented actor, filmmaker, and yeah, lost
yeah,
another Marshall, and I think that's sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, her brother was Gary Marshall, right?
Yes, I'm trying to remember their
I'm checking
relationship.
that up now.
They
were
have
related.
a relationship of some sort.
Her sister. They're the sister and brother. Yeah, no, I didn't realize that he passed on. She passed on. I'm trying to remember. She produced Cinderella Man. Oh, what do you know? But yeah, she was nominated. Let's see. Her subsequent directing credits include Awakenings, which she was nominated for a category for Best Picture, A League of Their Own, Renaissance Man, The Preacher's Wife, and Riding in Cars with Boys, which I don't think I know that one. But she also directed Big, which is probably her quote unquote biggest.
Biggest in A League of Their Own.
Big or A League of Their Own? What do you guys think?
I think A League of Their Own is better.
Is better? All right, Malcolm, what do you think?
The only
League of
one
Their
I've
Own or
seen
Big?
the only one I've seen is Big. So
Okay. And Ryan, which one do you think is her best work in those? Or pick something else. Doesn't have to be Big or League of Their Own. That's just her two probably most known.
I mean, Awakenings was good, but I'll go with A League of Their Own. Big is very good, but I think A League of Their Own has a little bit more going on.
I agree.
The Cinephiles did a very good episode on A League of Their Own, actually. I'd highly recommend going to listen to it.
Ooh, okay.
Her and Nora Ephron, like those are two women like that in the 90s and 80s got really good films, like are very remembered, and you usually don't talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized her brother Gary Marshall was in A League of Their Own. Did not even realize that. Holy
Indeed.
cow! Wow. Well, there you go. Yeah, no, there's this little somber note. Passing will be missed. What was the last thing she did before?
Movie Renaissance Man, I think.
Last movie that she directed.
It's been a while, I think.
Yeah, writing in Car with Boys was the last thing that she did. But she produced the movie Bewitched, and she did a lot of television, like a lot of television. She was on an episode of The Odd Couple, United States of Terror recently.
She was part of Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, thinking of the recent things.
I watched The Odd Couple recently. I watched The Odd Couple recently, the movie.
Oh.
It was really
How
good.
was that? Oh,
amazing.
There you go.
Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon have great chemistry.
I need to see that then. Did not know. Yeah, no, that's a somber note we will be leaving on because I know Ryan's tired. He apparently wants to go to bed, right, Ryan?
I can't.
Oh, you can't? Why not? Have work.
I just have things to do.
Ugh, I'm sorry. Well, never mind. Then Ryan will not be
fault.
going to bed. It is my fault. You know, it's all my fault. Blame it on me, Ryan. Okay, you have full permission to. But yeah, I know that Abe definitely wants to go to bed, right?
No, it's 7:30. I usually go to bed like that.
Fine, then we'll just stay up all night. We'll not stop the podcast if that's the case. We will have a 24-hour.
Go to school. I don't have a job right now, so I'm okay.
Oh yeah. You're off. You don't have any responsibilities. You have the least responsibilities out of all of us right now.
I have to feed my dogs. I clean the house. I cook sometimes. You know?
You cook. Hey, Abe does cook. What his Instagram says. You're really good cook. I'm not sure how it tastes, but it looks good. What you're cooking.
It looks good. I don't know. If
it looks good. I don't know either. I haven't tasted it. But no, that'll be all for now, guys. Where can the people find you, Abe, when you're not cooking?
You can follow me on Twitter at AbrahamF25. Please don't add me on Facebook if I don't know you. You can follow me on Letterboxd at AbrahamFlores25 and watch the Reactor Summit that will go. When is this going up?
This is going to go up Wednesdays. That's my trying to do.
Which will go up the same day because we're trying to focus on that we're previewing the spectacular and wrap up last week and this morning.
Last week.
Yeah. So and watch that will come out. I don't know when.
And Malcolm.
You can find me on Take Two, where I host Rankum every Sunday night, and the next episode we're doing is Christmas movie characters, and it's the last one. You can also find me in Multiplex and Full Metal, and you can also find me on Twitter, Letterboxd, and Stardust at Melkor, and I'm also on Facebook.
And Ryan.
You can find me on Letterboxd at Hermacannon19 or Twitter, but I don't really tweet anything of interest. So maybe don't follow me on Twitter. It won't be the greatest time for you. And since this is probably our last show before Christmas, I'm assuming, Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful and delightful holiday season with your friends, your families, everybody who's ever important to you. And yeah.
I totally forgot. You totally stole my thunder. I was going to be doing that, but thank you, Ryan. I can't follow that up any way whatsoever. But you can find me on Twitter, Cinna_man. That's CIND_MANN. I'll try to sell myself a little better than Ryan did on Twitter. You can find me, guys, because I'm trying to do Twitter, trying to get up to there, trying to do some tweets. But yeah, because work's getting on me to do some tweeting for work. But I have two Twitters. Yeah, I have two Twitters. There we go. And so I'm trying to balance those just well enough. But you can find me tweeting all sorts of things related to Oscars, movies in general, maybe some Star Wars once we finally get some more information. Because secretly, guys, you may not know this, but I am a Star Wars fan. We'll talk about Star Wars. Yeah, we'll talk about some Star Wars maybe when we get something to episode 9, because I'll stop the presses and we will discuss it and we will talk about that trailer just because I have the power. But you can also find me here hosting Gone with the Wind with these great panelists that we have here. I'm so super happy and blessed to have them said yes on the show. I enjoy what we're doing. Today I'm a little scatterbrained, as you can tell. But when am I not scatterbrained most of the days? Because the Christmas holiday season is upon us. Hope you guys have a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate during this time, make sure you're spending with loved ones, be the friends, family, by blood or not blood. Make sure you spend the time together and celebrate this wonderful holiday season and enjoy Christmas music while you can, because you will not be able to listen to it for too much longer before people look at you strange. For all of us here, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'll see you guys at the movies. And oh yeah, no show next week. You guys enjoy Christmas. We will get back to you guys fresh before the new year starts. See you guys at the cinema.